Sound Production. Sound Production. Sound Production.
This is Phase Ed Music.
Yes. What's going on, family? What's going on, guys? Welcome. Let me get my pretty tired face on the screen. What's going on, family? How are you guys feeling today? It's your boy Abel checking in. Wanted just to come on here for a pre-New York session, give us a look at the markets. I was not able to go live last night during Asian session. Even though it's Friday, I wanted to come on here, at least give you guys a perspective of what I'm looking for, and then give you guys an idea of what I'm looking for going into next week as well. But good morning, fam. Yes. Who we got in the building with us today? Wagwan. Desmond, how are you feeling? Good to see you in the chat. We got Victor. What's up? How are you guys doing? Christian, shout out to my Chicago squad. I see you on the building as well. What's going on, family? Thoughts on SPX? We could take a look at that really quickly. Give me 1 second. I'm a little tired today. Let's see. Let's see what's going on, family. I see we got Texas in the building for sure. What's up? Yo, where do you find these instrumentals? Honestly, this is just on YouTube. An hour-long loop of just instrumentals. Let's see. We got Brazil in the building. Cove, what's good, dog? Good to see you in the chat. Just took a go by after sweeping the low of the day. Expecting bullish closure. We could definitely take a look at that for sure, Eric. We got New Mexico, Michigan in the building. Can you check ETH? Yeah, I could take a look at the cryptos as well for y'all. Right, we'll get into all that, guys. That NAS buy is lit. Okay, we'll take a look at NAS. All right, let's see. George, my guy. What's going on, George? Let's see. It's 10 to midnight over there, man. Shout out to you for being awake then. Absolutely amazing, right? I can't wait to go. You know, Australia is definitely one of those places that I plan on traveling to, guys, in 2023, right? So anybody out there that's in Australia, it's going to be lit. It's going to be a vibe. It's going to be a vibe. Let's see. Colombo, Sri Lanka in the house. What's going on? We got Jersey in the building as well. How are you doing, Linda? All right. So, guys, really quickly, we haven't really seen too much movement at all this week out of the dollar. All right. As you guys can see, we're on the daily time frame. We literally haven't moved at all. Right. We've just been stuck inside of this, inside of this range, guys, this entire time. Right. This entire week. Right, which caused a lot of our trades to really not move how we wanted them to move. Right, it's been very choppy week overall, and yeah, I mean that's just the week that we've had this week. Right, very choppy, a lot of sideways, a lot of accumulating. Right, but what do I think can actually happen though? Right, so I'm actually leaning towards bullish strength still coming in, right? Because of where we're actually at. I would love to see, guys, the market really start to go bullish from these extreme lows over here, all right? I think it makes the most sense for us to do it. Is it possible for prices to run that? Of course it is, right? The market gonna do what it does, but even if we do run it, I mean, in my opinion, that's only going to give me even more confidence for this thing to potentially even rebound. All right, so it's interesting times here. I am expecting, or I would like to see, guys, just bullish strength come in for the dollar itself. That's what I've been pretty much playing the entire week this week. You know, so we'll see what happens. We'll see if the market does give us some type of a reaction, some type of a move. And again, I wouldn't be surprised if nothing does happen, right? It's Friday, right? But, you know, that's pretty much been my bias the entire week. I've been trying to cash this thing to buy up. We haven't really seen it happen just yet, you know, but it is what it is. That's why patience is crucial, and sticking to what you think can happen is absolutely crucial. All we're doing is just building up all this liquidity above these highs right here. All right, so I think yeah, you know, my target or my play is still going to be looking for that move to the upside for sure. All right, let's see who else we got in the building. Hailing from Ghana. Shout out to you guys out there in Ghana. How are you guys doing? Good afternoon to you guys out there. Larissa from Brisbane, Australia. What is going on, Larissa? Good to see you in the chat. All right, again, I can't wait to make my way out to Australia. I think it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to be honest with y'all, though, all right? And be honest with me. The only thing that I'm scared of Australia is them freaking insects, them animals, right? I heard you guys have, like, monster spiders and, oh, man. Am I tripping, baby? Nah, right? Like, Australia got some crazy animals. You guys got mutant-sized animals. Let's see. Animals of Australia. Of course, it's going to bring up the kangaroo, which I'm fine with a kangaroo, right? I'll definitely go ahead and vibe out with a kangaroo, right? But it's things like this guy. Like, I don't want this. Like, this guy looks scary as hell. You got me, George? With it. Right? As long as you got my back and teach me how to avoid things like this guy, who looks like a freaking dragon, like a mini dragon right here. Insane. Like, what is this right here? Like, this guy looks, what is this? A freaking form of a whale? Little bat. I'm not scared of no bat. These little ostrich looking ducks. Like, this little seahorse looks pretty cool. This guy looks scary as hell. Little snake. What am I even looking at right now? Like, what is this? This looks like dirt. Yeah, but the thing that I'm most scared about Australia is, again, yo, there's spiders, right? I heard you guys got some, like, spiders that are the size of humans. That's what I'm hearing of, obviously, right? I'm scared of spiders. That's like a phobia. Right? So, I don't know, y'all you definitely gonna have to hold me down, George, because that's my only concern about Australia, is going over there and dealing with suckers like this. Like, that's too big for me. I'm sorry. Like, this thing could cover my entire face. Yeah, look at this. This giant spider in Australia will haunt your dreams. You're damn right it'll haunt my dreams. Am I the only one, family, that's scared of spiders? All right, am I the only one? Because there's no way in hell am I gonna be able to operate if I see something like this in real life. I don't know. It's just it's gonna it's gonna scare the hell out of me. All right, so that's my only concern. Other than that, though, I know Australia is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to make my way over there. I can't wait to have a good time over there. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy. You will rarely see these, right? So I think it's definitely the media probably hyping stuff up then, right? You know how media is. You know, the media is the king of hype. You know, so it's probably the media that just be hyping up these scary animals. But just know, keep me away from those things. Keep me away from those things, right? Let's see. None of them will kill you, Abel. You'll be all right. Listen, I might die just from a panic attack seeing it. They don't even gotta touch me. Right? They don't even have. They look at me the wrong way, and it's gonna send me running. Mouth open is great. I'm not trying to pass with no Miles Morales. Hell no. Hell no. All right. Again, it might be the media just over exaggerating things for sure, family. But either way, I know the Australia family is gonna hold us down. Right? Y'all gonna protect us. Right, but back to the charts, family. Again, not really much I'm looking for. I was looking at EURUSD earlier. Just full transparency, I have not even entered a trade just yet on this. So I'm waiting for it. Again, I do want to see if we can finally end up seeing this thing roll over to the downside. I would love to go ahead and start targeting some of this trend line liquidity that we have been building up. You know, I just think below this entire level, guys, is just probably a lot of liquidity that I think we could possibly go ahead and target. So that's really what I'm playing, what I'm looking for overall. I would like to see, you know, this thing to go ahead and roll over to the downside. Like I said, though, I'm not currently in it just yet, unfortunately. Right, but I am now looking to see how the market reacts off of this. Right, if we can go ahead. Again, we got to be patient now because this thing is just absolutely dropping. Right, like a sweep of these little highs right here could have been obviously the nice entry, retesting back up to this last, you know, bullish candlestick. But now we just got to be patient. You know, again, I am on a little bit earlier than normal, right? And this is something I'm trying to get in the habit of doing. Because if I am going to be doing these New York live streams, whether it's by myself or whether it's with the team, I do agree we got to start waking up a little bit earlier. You know, probably around 7 o'clock, just so that we can have some time to actually catch some plays. Right, so yeah, you know, but for the meantime, guys, like I said, I'm still sitting on my hands. I haven't pulled the trigger just yet on this. I want to see what the market gives us. If I was actually paying attention to it up here, I probably would have taken it up here for sure. Right, again, on the sweep of this high right here and then the closure back below, but I wasn't actually monitoring the charts at that time. Right, but that's what I'm looking for. Right, we're gonna be patient. We're gonna see if the market does give us another opportunity. If it pushes back up, maybe, and we'll see how it reacts back at these highs. If not, then this thing could just drop, and then we'll just look for something for sure. All right, but let's see what else we got here. Let me see. All right, so things are coming. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. I mean, I don't just because I have more power. Yeah, I hear that. I think there are people out there that like spiders. I'm pretty sure there are people that like spiders. All right, I'm pretty sure there are. You know, there's some weirdos out there, right? And if that's you, you know, it is what it is. I'm scared of spiders. I'm not gonna lie. I'm scared of going to the bathroom and seeing that spider. Hell nah, right? Yeah. If they're bigger than my hand, I'm staying away. Exactly. Right. If they're bigger than my hand, if they're bigger than my thumb, I'm pretty much gonna be staying away. Let's see, Abel, can you check NZD Swiss? It's in my point of interest area. Yeah, for sure. Let's go ahead and take a look at that point of. Yeah, for sure. I see what pair is this. Can't tell on my screen. So this is EURUSD. Up here in the top left corner is the pair. All right, it might be a little smaller on your end, right? But it's definitely right here over on the left side, top left corner. Or you can even try to look at it over here. It does say it there as well. All right, let's see. I am running up. NAS looks good for a sell. All right, so let's go ahead and take a quick look at your guys' setup, see what you guys are looking at, see if there's anything that you guys are identifying that can give us some potential plays. All right, let's take a look at NZD. What is it? Swiss real quick first. Let's see what we have been doing. All right, so NZD Swiss, very interesting. I mean, this thing has just been gaining strength this entire day, very strong. We are coming up to these highs up here, which these highs are, I'm gonna be honest, these highs are a little suspect. Yeah, I mean, they did break, but these highs are a little suspect, right? If I'm gonna be playing off of these highs up here, I'm definitely going to be a little bit more patient, personally speaking. All right, because there is, especially after this type of momentum, right? This type of momentum to come back up to target these equal highs up here, there could be a chance where this thing actually might run it, or actually might end up running this level, right? So just it's hard for me to, again, and this is just more of a situation where you got to just sit on your hands. All right, could the market react off of this bullish candle up here? It could. It's very possible. All right, but look at the momentum. All right, this momentum is insane since yesterday, right? Like there's literally like no signs of slowing down, so it's a little hard to try to call a reversal on this type of strength that we have here, right? So if you are looking for something, just be patient, sit on your hands. What I will possibly be looking for is seeing how we react. If we break this high, which I think is going to happen at this point, if we break the high and then we see an immediate recovery back below the range, see, then I might be interested in trying to go ahead and take that play, right? But it's tough to go against this momentum right now. All right, this is super strong. All right, but if you took it already, then do your thing, hold it out. Just make sure you are understanding of pretty much what I'm saying, because yeah, that's a little tough. All right, these are the type of plays, guys. When we have this much momentum and I'm expecting a reversal, I'm not setting no pending order. I'm not using no limit. I'm literally going to be using market execution, but I'm going to be watching price action. All right, I'm going to be sitting on my hands. I'm going to see what the market does. And the moment we do start to see a structural shift, right? Because right now we're not seeing no structural shift. The moment we do see a structural shift, maybe something like that, right, that actually breaks momentum with some type of momentum, and then we start to get selling volume entering the market at that same time on that break of structure, then we can go ahead and possibly get involved, right? So I want to see something like this, guys, right? I need to see some type of evidence. So I personally wouldn't take no pending orders if that's what you were doing. Again, it's not to say that this can't happen. We just need a little bit more of structure confirmation, right? We need that structure confirmation, in my opinion. All right, so let's see what else we got here. Let's see. I know you guys want to take a look at the indices really quick, so let's go take a look at indices, see what the market is doing. All right. Again, I don't think we haven't really done much at all, neither for the indices this week, guys. It's been a very slow, choppy week as well for the indices, and it's going to be the same thing for pretty much every single one. And can't even speak. NAS 100, SPX, US 30, like they've been very choppy all week long. So only thing you possibly could have gotten is if you were taking more so some little scalps inside of the range, because we just been stuck up here this entire time. Now, the one thing that I want you guys to keep your eyes on, right, is just look at structure, though. Right, look at price action, look at structure, right? So let me go ahead and just show you guys a few things, right? So we did end up seeing the market finally come and break this high right here, right, of this entire area of structure, right, this entire area of accumulation, like this entire play, right? We were just building up liquidity above this high right here, right, where we have a lot of this inefficient price action that was still available, but we finally did run in that high. We closed a lot of the inefficiencies that we had there. And now look at what we're doing now, right? We're getting, again, a similar play, just in a form of distribution, where price is now looking like it could actually end up going back to the downside, right? Just looking at structure, we have this high here, we have this high up here, right? And then we started creating these little short-term lower highs, all right? So if keyword there is if we are going to look for some type of play here, I would really be interested in, guys, in seeing how we end up reacting above these highs up here, right? These highs that I'm marking off right here in the 1 hour time frame, right? Because I think if we do actually see a nice run of this high up here, honestly, I will probably even be looking for up here, to be honest with you, right? I think this will probably look a lot better, a lot juicier, right? So if we can see price, possibly come, because again, I think this high right here is probably going to get taken, right? I wouldn't be surprised at it just by how we reacted and we came back all the way back to the upside. All right, I don't think that this is going to be a strong high that can ultimately hold, but I think this one possibly could up here, right? Because this is that high that was formed, guys, that ultimately ended up breaking this structure, right? This high right here formed, and then we did end up seeing, structure break to the, to the downside here, right? So I think this high can actually hold. So if I'm looking for anything, guys, for NAS, and I'm pretty sure the other ones probably look a little tiny different, but they're all going to be similar plays, right? So I would like to see something like this, a nice run of these highs, and then I will be looking to short it probably up at this level up here, guys. That's 11,900, 11,950. All right, 11,950 is probably where I would really be interested in a potential play, closing the remainder of this price inefficiency. I think it looks really juicy, right? But that is a little bit ways to go, right? That is a little bit ways to go. So since my expectation, or what I would like to see, is for price to come up here, is there any way for us to take advantage of an opportunity today? I mean, there could be, right? There could be, especially if we see a nice, I would need to see a little bit of a pullback if I'm interested in anything, right? Maybe down to this range down here, right? Because we're talking about, I want to look for, and again, this is if I wanted to look for the buy to break this high right here, right? If I am looking for a buy that could potentially break this high right here, then I need to make sure I'm getting at the extreme lows of this range right here, right? Because this is all of our range right now. I don't want to buy right all the way here because we're buying in the middle of the range as a whole. Stop that. Right, we're trying to buy in the middle of the range. And that's just a little too dangerous for me, right? So I don't want to buy off of this resistance, and I also don't want to sell off of this resistance, because again, price doesn't have to stop at this resistance level, right? You know, there's probably a lot of liquidity starting to be built up above this high right here that's probably going to make the market run. So the only thing I will be looking for is if we see this market come back down, then we could potentially go ahead and target up here all the way up into this level right here, and then from there, that's when I will see if we can go ahead and sell this thing back down and go and target, you know, these lows over here per se, right? So that's what I will be looking for NAS. We do got about an hour and a half until New York market, or you know, New York stream open at least. All right, so we'll see what the market does end up giving us, but yeah, that's what I will be looking for, right? I think a play down below here could potentially give us an opportunity. All right, could potentially give us an opportunity. That's what I would like to see. That's what I would like to look at. Somewhere down in this range. All right, so let's see what we got here. Let's see. Looks like a head and shoulders, right? Yeah, I mean it does. All right. I'm not sure if you're talking about this, but similar concept, right? Head, right? Shoulder, head, potential shoulder up here. But now we have the inverse of that, just giving us that bullish price action on the shorter time frame. But yeah, you know, it does look very interesting. So we'll see what the market gives us. All right, family, is the instrumental too loud, or is the instrumental perfect? Right? Can you guys hear me loud and clear? Right. I want to make sure you guys can hear me, right? Because I know my mic is. I get a lot of criticism with my mic, right? But I think the reason why we have issues, guys, especially when it's me and the team, right? Because like right now, I'm pretty sure my mic sounds perfect, right? It sounds nice and loud. But I think the issue when like I go live with the Prophet Society family, why my mic always ends up becoming lower, is because I have both my OBS, like the mic that you guys are listening to me right now, the software that I used to stream with, and I also have my Zoom up, right? So now what's going on is my mic is trying to obviously, you know, work through the OBS and through the Zoom at the same time, which like lowers my initial volume. So I think that's the big issue that I've been having with, you know, my streams with the guys. All right, but I think it's good though. All right, so I think it's good. Perfect. So yeah, this is what we're saying. This is what I'm waiting for, guys. This is what I would like to see. All right, I want to see something like this. I think it's a good play. I think it could give us a nice opportunity. You know, so that's really what I'll be looking to take advantage of. All right, and if there's always an if, right? If this thing just says nope, we're just gonna go ahead and run this low, Abel, then at that point I'll probably just sit out of it. I'm not gonna really chase it, all right? Because then, I mean, the market can do a bunch of different things, right? You know, we can either just be running this low to swipe liquidity and then bounce back up. Then maybe that could be a play, or this could just be, you know, going ahead and start targeting these lows down here already. All right, but we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. But overall, I think this play is probably going to be the one that makes the most sense for me. All right, I think this play will probably be the one that makes the most sense for me going into at least today. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye on it though. We'll come back to this, guys. I'm actually gonna set the alert. I'm gonna set an alert once we actually end up running this low right here. I'm gonna set an alert just to keep us updated, so that we are aware of when price does get down there. All right, so we'll see what happens overall. All right, let's see what else we got here. US 30. US 30 is gonna be similar to what I'm looking for NAS. The thing about US 30 as well is this one is very, very interesting. All right, I think there's a good chance for us to at least make us, and it already looks like it's starting to push, but I would like to see us really come back up to these highs and see how we play off of these highs up here. All right, because if we can see, you know, some type of a play up here, then that could give us, you know, again, that opportunity to go ahead and go short. All right, so I'm gonna be patient with this one though. All right, because I want to see how we react back up around these highs. Now, if again, you could, if you wanted to, it's up to you. I'm not doing it, right? But you could obviously go ahead and, you know, potentially look for some buying opportunities to get us up there. You know, that's something that, again, you could potentially do if it makes sense for you, right? If it makes sense for you, that's something that you can look into. For me, I don't really care for that. Only way I would be looking for the buy is if, again, we came back down to these extremes, which I'm not sure if we are actually going to do. Right, but this is the only time that I will be looking for a potential buy, is maybe down here at these levels to then bring us up into that zone, right? But you know, we'll see what happens. Very similar to NAS though overall. Just looking for price to come back into our extremes. All right, let's see what we got here. Destroy the like buttons, guys. Definitely go ahead and smash the like button, family. I appreciate you guys for doing that. It helps out my channel tremendously. We are actually on the road to 20K. All right, we are on the road to 20,000 subs. All right, I'm excited for that. We are about 60 subscribers short as of right now. Yeah, we're just under 60 subscribers short, guys. So the goal is to get that done by next weekend, which is probably going to be very easy as long as I'm consistent. Honestly, if I would have went live last night, and if I would have went live on Wednesday's Asian session as well, because I did miss the previous 2 Asian sessions, we probably would have smacked it already, right? But, you know, the goal is by this up and coming week to definitely go ahead and smash that 20K subscriber goal. And yeah, you know, your guys' likes, your guys' comments, your guys' engagement actually does help, right? You know, even the comments, guys, right? Whether it's positive or negative comments, I'm gonna appreciate you just because you are helping, you know, helping me with the algorithm that YouTube runs off of, right? So big shout out to y'all. I appreciate y'all for helping me out tremendously. Let's see. I'm liking GJ Sells. Let's see what we got here for GJ, right? Shout out to my guy Jude, St. Jude in the building. Right, so we were looking at GJ pretty much all week, right? And GJ's been very, very interesting to say the least. Because just how it's forming, right? I mean, let's just take a quick look at the bigger picture real quick, right? You know, what we see here, guys, I'm just going to highlight a few levels, all right? So we have this high right here. We have this low down here, right? That the market has ultimately really been playing off of, right? Been playing around, right? We did end up seeing the market end up running these highs, but ultimately, like, completely getting rejected back below, right? So this is showing that we probably do have some more bearish momentum that could possibly continue to come in. Now, again, I am looking at it from the daily perspective, right? So it is a bigger time frame. But I do think that there is a chance, guys, for us to see lower pricing, right? So I do agree with you, Jude. Again, it's the same thing that we've been looking at all week. I just want to see now, again, how the market, like, I need to wait for some type of confluence, some type of confirmation, right? Because I see this level right here that you're probably trying to play off of. We did get a decent reaction off of that, right? We did get a decent reaction off of it. I mean, even now we're seeing a decent reaction, but I don't know. I'm still not sold on it. Right? I'm still not sold on it too much. Right? I think there's still a chance for some reason. I don't know. Right? I think there's still a chance that we actually go ahead and run up into this high up here. This is really where I would like to look for that sell from. Right? All the way up here. Right? Around this 167,700 level. That's where I would personally be interested in shorting GJ. Now, that's not to say it can't drop from there, right? So if you're already in it, then by all means hold it. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I'm going to take the trades, guys, where I feel the most comfortable with. And that's not to say that your play is not going to play out, because it's very possible. But that's just me, right? I like to enter, you know, at specific areas. So I would be looking for somewhere up here to possibly short GJ, right? You know, yeah, that's what I would be looking for. But we'll see what happens, right? We'll see. You never know, right? The market could give us, you know, a nice strong shift that does end up breaking numerous levels of structure, and then at that point that could work out. But based off current price action, I'm not there just yet, right? Maybe if we actually end up coming back below this structure right here, right? If we close below this 166.2, then maybe I'll be interested in it. All right, something like this, a nice breakdown below, retest back up to that 166.2, and then we can go ahead and target and capture all of this trend line liquidity that we have here, right? Because we have this trend line, guys, that has just been building up so much liquidity, right? So I do think we're eventually going to break this trend line, so we can go ahead and start capturing all this liquidity on the other side of it. Right, so that's what I'll be playing, and yeah, we'll see what the market gives us overall. All right, but I think we end up running this liquidity for sure. That's what I'll be betting on. All right, again, just to make myself clear, I want to see a break. I want to see structure break below, hopefully a break below that, and then we can go ahead and, if that were to happen. Besides that, I'll just wait for price to get up to this 167.75. All right, so that's my personal opinion on GJ. So yeah, you know, gotta be patient, see how the market does play out overall. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let me hear your thoughts regarding upping the lot size as capital keeps compounding. Right, I mean, your lot size should honestly fluctuate pretty often, and I know it might sound crazy to some people, but to professionals it makes a lot of sense. All right, your lot size for the most part, guys, should be determined by your risk percentage, how much you're risking for that trade, and it's also going to be determined by how big your stop loss is. Okay, now there is a good practice that I used to do that helped me out, where I literally sticked with a set lot size and I would just stick with that. But then you're also hurting yourself because you're not able to maximize how much you really could be making on that trade if you're just sticking with one actual lot size the entire time, right? Because if you have a 5 pip stop loss, you can have a much bigger lot size compared to if you had a 20 pip stop loss, right? Because the risk itself is not going to change, right? If you're risking 1%, it's going to be 1% no matter how big your stop loss is. But the thing that changes is going to be your lot size that you're actually playing. Right, so for an example, right, like let's just say hypothetically, again, I don't want nobody to jump in and say, oh, Abel's selling GJ, let me sell it, right? No, this is just for an example based off what we're talking about right now with the lot size, because that is a very, very good question though. All right, because I know there's a lot of confusion on that, right? So hypothetically speaking, if we were saying to take this trade right here for GJ, right, and I'm actually gonna bring up a calculator real quick. I'm not sure if Nash Markets is working, because I know this one hasn't been working lately. Let me see. Let me bring up GJ. Right, I want to show you guys again the difference, right? So let's just say we have, you know, just $1,000 account, right? Our risk is going to be 1%, right? So we're going to be risking 1%. We're going to be taking shorts, right? But we're going to have two different ideas. Our entry is going to be the same, but our stop loss placement is what's going to be different. Right, because we're gonna have one stop loss above these highs, one stop loss above these relative highs right here. All right, we're gonna have one again above the swing high and then one above this relative high. Right, take profit. I mean, it really doesn't matter for what we're talking about right now, right? But if you look at this trade, guys, is giving us a 17 pip stop loss, while this one is giving us a 53 pip stop loss. Now let's look at the difference real quick. All right, so our entry is gonna be 166.800 just to make it even. 166.800. All right, our stop loss for our first example is going to be for around 18 pips. All right, so 18 pips stop loss. All right, and if we calculate this, it's telling us that our position size should be a 0.07 lot size. Okay, a 0.07 lot. Okay, that is with a $1,000 account risking 1%. Okay. And that is with only an 18 pip stop loss, right? So for those of you guys that will take a trade like this with your stop loss above this relative high, that's how it would look, right? But let's go ahead and change it. Now let's say you actually want to be a little bit more conservative and you wanted to have your stop loss above the swing high. Right now we're talking about a 53 pip stop loss, right? So let's change it. Stop loss. Let's calculate. And now look at what changes. The lot size, all right? See, now we can only afford a 0.02 lot size. Okay, is this making sense, family? Go ahead and for one smash the like button if this is making sense, and drop a 777 in the chat real quick. But this is actually, that's a great question, Eric. It really is, right? Because there's a lot of misconceptions around what your stop loss should be. You know, a common way that people talk about stop loss is that for every $100, a 0.01 and so on and so forth, or for every 1,000, 0.01, which that's cute, right? It sounds good, but you're probably not maximizing your potential on how much you could win, and you're also probably maximizing your loss potential as well, right? So just keep this in mind, right? Again, the stop loss or your lot size should be different, right? It should be different. Now, if you actually are someone, right, because there's actually traders out there that simply use a set pip, right, for stop loss, right? Like they'll use a 20 pip stop no matter what. Right now, if your stop loss does not change, then yeah, all right, your lot size for the most part is probably not going to change neither, all right, because it's going to stick within that risk perimeter that you created. But if you're somebody like myself, where my stop loss is not a set amount, it's dictated by what the setup is giving me, then my lot size constantly changes, right? You know, I could throw a standard on one trade, I could throw 3 standard on another ones, I could throw, you know, a 0.5 on another one, right? It depends on the actual stop loss that setup is presenting at that time. All right, so I hope that makes sense. All right, let's see. Agreeous mindset, stop loss determines the lot size. Yeah, that's a bar, but yeah. Let's see, EU giving us that entry. Let's go take a look at EU. All right, so EU is giving us that pushback up. All right, this is gonna be good. Let's see how we play up off of these extremes up here, guys. Right? You know, let's see how we play up off of these extremes. We'll be patient. We'll see what the market gives us. Again, any trade that I take, though, guys, is gonna be 1%, 1%. I've taken a couple losses this week, but they've all been 1% losses. All right, I've taken some wins, I've taken some losses this week, right? But the reason why, you know, I haven't really funded an account in a while, right? And the reason for that is because, again, I'm making sure that I'm practicing proper risk management. All right, we should only have to fund our accounts. I mean, again, it's different, right? Because if you're starting off with a smaller account, then you should be compounding that trading account. All right, if you're starting with a smaller account size, like if you're starting with 100, 500 bucks, you should be practicing proper risk management all day long, but also start compounding that account, right? Like there's no reason why. I feel like I'm yelling. Hold on, this music is, turn it down a little bit more. I feel like I'm yelling. All right, so this is a bar, by the way. This is such a nugget, family. I need you guys to understand this, right? What a lot of traders do, they have $100 in their account, right? And off of that $100, you know, they try to turn that $100 into $1 million, okay? And they don't plan on adding more money to that trading account unless they end up blowing that $100, okay? What you should be doing, all right? Matter of fact, I'm not going to say should. What you could be doing is, instead of you trying to turn that $100 into 1,000, you know, practice proper risk management. Only risk 1 or 2%, but start to compound more money in there, right? Every single week, add another $100 into that account if you could do it, right? Add another $50 into that trading account, right? Treat your trading account, guys, as an actual investment account. That's what it should be, right? So just because you put $100 in there doesn't mean you should stop throwing more money in there. No, right? Now, again, if you are not disciplined, and I'm looking at you right now, if you are not disciplined, then don't do it, because you're just going to blow your account. But if you are good at understanding risk management, if you actually practice proper risk management, then you should be compounding more money in there, right? Because you can start off with $100 in the beginning, but if you add more money every single week, in a couple weeks, you can now have $1,000, right? You can now have $2,000, $5,000 over time. And now those profits that you're seeing, right, that 5% return that you're seeing is going to start to grow as well. And you're actually going to be excited about the returns, right? So please do that. That is such a gem. I wish I would have did that, all right? I wish I would have did that, guys, when I started trading, because I wouldn't have been dealing with smaller accounts the entire time, right? So get in the habit of actually compounding over time, right? You add $100 this week, cool. Just don't blow your account and just keep on adding money in it, right? Like, give yourself a limit. Give yourself a max risk to reward, right? Not max risk reward, but give yourself a max risk percentage for the week, right? Like, I'm only gonna lose 5% max for this week, right? Only lose 5% max. for a $100 account, you can only lose $5 for the week, right? And again, I get it from a take profit perspective. You're not going to be making much, right? You make $1, $2, but if you're compounding, you're going to start to grow your account to a point where it does start to actually make a difference, right? So just keep that in mind, guys, right? That's just a little bit of some sauce that I know can really help, you know, some of you guys for sure. All right, like I said, that's just a nugget in itself, right? But again, let's see what we got here, guys, for EURUSD. Being patient, see how the market does play off of these highs up here. Now that we did end up clearing these lows, right? Because doing something like this, guys, is very interesting, right? We seen the market run this high right here, run this level of structure, and then we immediately shifted, and it ended up running this low as well. So we really are probably just going to be playing this high up here, right? Is it possible for it to run? I mean, there is, right? In fact, I mean, there's a little bit of price inefficiency right above that, but that can just be either another opportunity to take advantage of, or if you just wanted to have your stop loss a little bit wider, you can do that as well, right? It's totally up to you, right? But we'll see how this plays. All right, we're gonna see. Again, I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna tell you guys exactly when I decide to jump in, all right? And I'll let you guys know, you know, what I'm looking for sure. All right, we're gonna be patient. We're gonna see how the market reacts above these highs. I want to see candle closures, by the way, right? I'm waiting for candle closures. All right, I'm not just taking it just because it's up here, right? I want to see candle closures. I want to see, you know, some type of a pattern now, right? Now that we're up in our extremes, now is where we start to look at price action from a candlestick pattern perspective, right? Or whatever it is that you like to look for, you know, for your entries, right? So if we don't get no type of an engulfing or something like that, then I'm not in it. This thing can just keep running. Let's see, Abel, do you still use NAS, right? So I do still use NAS Market. I have NAS Market as a broker. It's definitely one that I still use. And I mean, as you can see, the calculator now looks like it's actually working as well, which is pretty good, right? So shout out to the calculator. But again, we're being patient. We're not chasing this, family. All right, we got to wait for confirmations. We got to wait for confirmation. Confirmation. We got to wait for confirmation. For confirmation. For confirmation. For confirmation. Confirmation. For confirmation. All right, let's see. Gold analysis. We'll take a look at gold. Let me just keep my eye on this EURUSD first, right? Because I want to see how we play up above these levels. I want to see if we can get some type of a play that we can take advantage of. All right, we have about 2 minutes left on this 5-minute candle. All right, we're gonna be patient. We're gonna be patient. Let's see. Is the site fixed? Wasn't able to use NAS Market. Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like it is now. Let's see. Thoughts on schizophrenic trading strategy? I've never actually heard of that, right? So teach me something new. All right, because I've never heard of no schizophrenic trading strategy. What about using ATR for stop losses? I mean, you can definitely do that as well if it works for you. All right, you know, there are traders out there, guys, that do use the ATR to identify what their stop loss is going to be. You know, so again, I'm not one to shy away from different indicators or techniques, because I know there's people out there that use it, right, and that are profitable with it, right? So if you use it, by all means, yeah, 100%, do your thing. I just like to use levels of structure personally, all right, but there's nothing wrong with that. Let's see. You already know how the industry be. I agree with you. Respect the capital if you have. If you can't afford bigger lot size, just accept reality. Everybody try to be the hero. Yeah, and that's why most people continue to lose. All right, people want to rush the process, right, instead of trusting the process, right? And I get it. You know, nobody wants to go. Trading is one of those things, family, where it's really dependent on delayed gratification, right? If you can delay your gratification and you can focus on the process, focus on the system, you know, focus on, you know, developing the correct habits. See, then, yeah, you know, it will make a lot of sense, right? It's just most people don't want that delayed gratification, right? Most people want instant gratification, you know, and expect to become millionaires in their first month, right? I mean, become millionaires in their first year, right? It's very tough, guys, to be, you know, a profitable 6, 7, 8-figure trader in your first year, right? That first year or two of you trading should be solely on just learning the process, learning the strategy, learning the language, right? Over time, once you do become, you know, good at it, the money's going to be a byproduct of it. Okay, look at this reaction that we're seeing here, though, guys, on EURUSD, right? So this is interesting, right? The only thing that I don't like about it is this wick that was left behind here in the 5-minute. It is possible for the market to just shift off of this wick, especially since we're reacting off of structure. But just one thing that we've been noticing, right? Something that I definitely got, you know, from a few of my buddies too. Like, these wicks do typically fill, right? So what I would like to see now that we actually do got that wick, right? And again, if it leaves, then it leaves. It is what it is. What's up? Right, but I actually think there's probably a good chance that we end up filling this wick now. Right, think about how many traders just jumped into this position now, all because of this wick. Right, so there could be some liquidity that could now be sitting probably above this wick, right, or above these highs now, right? Because now we have not just an equal high situation, but the wick itself. So if we fill this wick, right, on a fill of this wick, and then a rejection back inside of the wick, I think that can trigger a nice entry for us, right? So sitting on our hands, again, this is trading, being patient. And if it leaves without us, then it is what it is, right? It is what it is. But that's just what I like to do, right? I like to wait for my confirmation. I like to be extremely confident in what I'm looking for. And there's just certain things, certain criteria that I identify and I wait for to happen. Now, if you did want to take this trade off of this wick, just make sure your stop loss is above the swing high. Right, your stop is gonna have to be above the swing high if you do want to take that wick, that rejection off of that wick. All right, you gotta give yourself some room, right, just in case the market did want to come back and fill the wick itself. All right, but I'm not playing it. I'm playing it on the wick fill. I'm playing it on the wick fill. Right, if we can come back up to this OB up here, this order block, a retest of this order block is really where I would like to go ahead and catch an entry on. Right, so that's what I'm gonna be waiting for. I'm gonna be patient for that all day long. Right, I'm gonna be patient for that all day long. Right, a fill back up here, maybe a retest of this live OB up here on this 1 minute, that can give us an entry. So somewhere up here, right, 1.038. I think that could be pretty good. Right, all this wick candle did, guys, is show us that there is some type of selling pressure. Right, all this wick right here did, it is just getting us added confirmation that there is some type of selling pressure up in this level. All right, so I'm using that as more of a reference for that. But now we got to see if we can go ahead and come back up to here to then fill the wick, most of the wick, and then give us that play. And since we're going to be playing off of this OB up here, right, this little live order block up here, right, 1 minute OB, we can actually have a tighter stop loss as well. Right, very, very tight stops, you know, because I mean, technically, we don't want the market to run this level, right? If this order block is going to be a true order block, then we don't want it to see it run that level, right? We don't want to see that happen, right? We want to see it actually respect, you know, this order block up here and then give us that opportunity to go lower. So that's how I'm playing it for sure, guys, right? So if we can get this push back up to this order block up here, that's going to be my entry. Stops is going to be relatively very close, only around a 4 or 5 pip stop loss. Just because, again, I don't want to see this level violated, and if it violates it, then we'll take that loss, and then we'll see how the market reacts, you know, back up at these highs up here. Right, but that's my play. Being patient, sitting on my hands, not gonna chase it, and we'll see what happens. Let's see. I've been in a sell since Tuesday. Okay. Let's see. Let me see. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit more for y'all. All right, this should be probably way better now. I don't even think you guys can even hear the instrumental now. I put it so low because I could barely hear it in my ears. I could barely hear it, but that should be better anyways. Let's see. Can we get your trading journal again? Yeah, I can give you guys the copy of that. Yeah, I got y'all. Give me 1 second. All right, here is that. There's the copy of the trading journal for anybody that needs a trading journal. There you go. All right, it looks something like this. All right, that you guys can utilize. One thing you have to do is just to make sure, again, to read what's in the yellow. All right, because I get a lot of people that message me after, like, Abel, bro, can you give me permission to use the spreadsheet? I don't need to give you permission. Just click on file, and make a copy of this trading journal, and then yeah, just tailor it to your actual results. Just try not to mess with any of these tabs though, right? Because there's algorithms built in, guys, that allows this entire thing to pretty much do all the calculations on its own, right? So the only thing you guys should be changing is pretty much just how much money you're going to be starting with, right? And then so on and so forth, right? And obviously just inputting all your stuff, right? But yeah, but there you go. You guys can have that. All right, so let's see. Here goes Euro. Let's see how we play off of this guy. So we are starting to come up and get this wick fill now. We're coming up to start to get this wick fill. All right, I'm looking for up here. Again, it is going to be a very short stop loss for this one because we do not want that high to get violated. So let me see. Let me get myself prepared. This thing came within, literally within half of a pip. You gonna come back up and give us an entry, right? I think you are. I think we are. I think you're gonna give us an entry. We're playing 1 minute time frame, by the way, too, family. Like, we're playing lower time frame opportunities. All right, so volatility, or it's gonna look like it's extremely volatile for sure. Let's see. If we, I think I might end up taking this. If we end up staying below this candle right here, like you see how we just broke this 1 minute candle right here, I think this could really trigger that continuation, right? But we're gonna see how this 1 minute candle closes. We really didn't come back up to test that live OB just yet neither, but this thing looks like it wants to start running. This thing looks like it wants to start running, but we'll see. We'll be patient. See, back to the screen. Gold, yeah, I'll take a look at gold. I'm really just hyper focused right now on EU, right? I don't want to miss this, right? I don't want to miss an opportunity to get in, so I'm gonna be focused on this, seeing if we can play off of this high again, just to be fully transparent. If it doesn't work out, guys, then we're probably gonna come back all the way up to this high, and then from there we could just, see if they could get another opportunity. All right, that's why risk management is so important. Let's see, bro, if I had somebody tell me that earlier, or a mentor guy like Abel would have saved thousands of dollars. You won't find a mentor that tell you what not to do. Yeah, I try to be as transparent as possible for sure. Let's see, makes a lot of sense. I totally had a different version of compounding. Yep, most people do. What if you lost 5%, but the next trade you take is a banger? Again, that's you pretty much gambling, right? Like, I get what you're saying, Yeezy, right? And there are times where it does happen, right? But if you lost 5% for the week and that was your rules, then it's more important to be disciplined and following your rules than it is to actually make money, right? That's just being honest, right? So let's see how you feel about the Fed since people still spending money. This has been my biggest issue, guys, going into the end of the year, right? Because I'm still very much risk off sentiment, right? I still think the dollar itself will continue long-term bullish. But the reason why I've been very conflicted is because, for one, I mean, we've seen the market really start to shift, and we're going into holiday season, right? We're getting data that's also leaning towards the fact that we could see more of a rebound in these markets. Now, with retail sales coming out the way that it did on Tuesday, that should have brought us a lot more strength for the dollar. because obviously if the main goal is to fight inflation, you don't want to see people spending, which people are still spending literally non-stop. All right, so it's a lot of different factors, right, which is causing a lot of confliction for me, right, and in terms of what I want to do, right, because there's what I want to see, what I think can happen, and then there's what logically is starting to make sense based off the current time of the year, right? Seasonality, guys, plays a big role in this, right? There are spurs, like the markets move certain ways based off the seasons of the year, all right, and yeah, it's conflicting, right? It's definitely been a lot of confliction for me. So I've been a lot more patient, you know, and at least in this month, right? Last month we were banging, right? Last few months we were banging, right? But this month going into December, I'm definitely a little bit more patient, you know, with my opportunities. I need a lot more confirmations for sure, which is causing me to miss out on a bunch of different trades too, right? Like I miss out on opportunities because of how cautious I'm being because of the conflictions that I have been seeing, right? But that's just me being transparent with y'all. There's been a lot of conflicting data that's been coming out from a fundamental perspective, from a technical, from a sentiment, right? So it's definitely been messing me up a little bit, but it is what it is, right? You know, we got to be able to just manage your risk correctly, right? So whenever you do get through these point in times, guys, where things might not be as clear as you would normally expect them to be, when you do take losses off of those, it's not hurting your account, right? It is not hurting your account, right? That's the biggest thing, right? Again, being able to trade another day, guys, is such an underrated statement in the trading space, right? Trade as if you are trying to trade for the rest of your life. You only have one account, right? Picture this, family, right? Imagine you only had one trading account, just one. Like you were like all of us was granting simply one trading account to trade with, right? And you put your life savings in there. How would you really treat that trading account? Right? You're going to be very cautious. Where you're going to be a lot more patient. Right now, for most people, they're probably still going to end up blowing that account because of fear and things like that, because of the emotions. But then you got to treat these accounts like they're like you can't refund them, right? Like you got to treat it like it's do or die for real, and that's just the reality, right? You have to be able to treat this thing correctly. Abel, question, what are some tips to not rush trade entries, right? That's a great question, by the way, right? Because again, that is a big issue with most traders, right? Is rushing the entry. You just got to understand what you're looking for, right? Specific patterns that you like to play, right? Like for me, like I love playing, these type of reactions, right? These type of reactions inside of extreme levels of price. We are up at an extreme area up here, all right? Because these are the highs of this range before the market ultimately ended up shifting, right? So whenever I look for an entry, all right, it has to be at an extreme level, but then we also have to get some type of confirmation showing us that momentum could start to go in there. So that's what I wait for. And if I don't get it and I miss the trade, then so be it, right? There's always going to be another trade tomorrow, right? There's always going to be another trade probably in the next 20 minutes on a different setup, right? But I like to look for what I like to look for, right? And that's it. And I don't take my trade unless I get in there. I risk my 1%, and then I just deal with the consequences, whatever it be, right? Whether they're positive or whether they're negative. Right, and it comes down to you just learning what you're looking for and learning what you want to play and how you want to play it. That's what it really comes down to. Let's see. People are maxing out their credit card. Yeah, that's how I'm treating my Tinder account. Did you really mean to say Tinder? You are hilarious, Devin. He said the Tinder account with the utmost patience. Listen, man, you treat that Tinder account like you treat your trading account, you're going to have a lot of success. You're going to find the right one, Devin. I promise you. You're going to find the right one. All right, let's see. For real, I agree. I mean, even if you make your salary in the market, you can gain freedom a lot of people don't have. 100%. Right? 1,000%. That is so true. You said my funded account. Nah, bro, you're... Listen, man, you definitely meant Tinder account. Like, you're caught right here in 4K. Everybody's seeing this. Everybody's seeing the chat. Right? You definitely meant Tinder. That was your what is that? What is that called? Your autocorrect. Your autocorrect just exposed you, my boy. Your autocorrect just exposed you. I'm not even gonna lie. All right, so let's see what we get here now, guys. Right now that we're coming back up to test this, if we can get one more engulfing off of that level, then I'm in there on the 1 minute time frame. All right, if we can get one more engulfing, right, then I'm in there. Auto correct me, buddy. All right, yo, you are hilarious, bro. All right, so if we can close below this level now, I'm taking it personally speaking. Stops around this will probably be around a 6 pip stop loss, which is nothing crazy. Again, 1% regardless. All right, and again, I'm waiting for this 1 minute closure. All right, waiting for this 1 minute closure. Initially, once we break that, I would love to see this little 1 minute trend line get destroyed. All right, but again, waiting for the 1 minute closure. I want to see this thing engulfed. Like, I want to see confirmation, right? I want to see that engulfing. If we don't get that engulfing, then guess what? We're still being patient. Let's see. I've been holding GJ since last night. Got in area, almost hit my TP area. Should I continue to hold for that upside push? I could take a look at that, right? And again, I'm focused on EU family because it's right in our areas, right? So I know a lot of you guys want me to take a look at the other ones, but we'll get there. All right, family. So I'm taking this, right? I'm risking 1%. I'm risking that 1%, and we'll deal with the consequences, whatever it ends up being, right? So it's only going to be around a 6 pip stop loss either way, right? 6 pip stop loss. All right, 1% trade, right? This should not cause anybody to be fearful. Only 6 pips, or even, you know, I know some of you guys are still going to try to over leverage. It's just a habit that you guys are in it. It is what it is. I know I had that habit too. We got to eventually get out of it, but, you know, we're going to take it. All right, very short setup, 6 pips stop loss. And, yeah, we'll see what the market does give us here. Let's see. EU hurt my feelings yesterday. Normally that'd be my question. Y'all go over EU yet? Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, I took a couple losses on EU myself, right? I took a loss last night, yesterday on USD CAD as well, right? So I took a few losses this week. Overall, we're still doing pretty good, not too bad, right? I think I'm honestly close to break even for this week. Like, it really hasn't done too much at all. I think I'm around break even. But it is what it is, right? That's just trading for you. You're not always going to be able to make 5% every single week. Right, but let's see what we got here, guys. EU is looking decent. If we can continue to drop, then that will be absolutely phenomenal. Right, if we can break this low right here and really hold below this low, I think we're going to have a very good looking opportunity here, right? If we can run this low, I think it will be very juicy for us. Right, but we got to be patient, right? We're nowhere near safe just yet. A break below this level could be very juicy, right? In fact, if we do break below this level, guys, and close below this level here, I'm probably going to end up rolling my stops to break even, just because we are now going to start getting into areas where there could be some liquidity position that could just, you know, send this thing back up, right? So, but we'll monitor it together, though. All right, we're going to monitor this thing together, see how the market plays out for us. Let's see. Big shout out to our newest subscribers, by the way. I do appreciate y'all. Shout out to you, Spade. What's going on? Shout out to you for being subscribed. Welcome to the family. Let's see, in that EU. Yeah, I mean, let's see how it plays out. Right now, we're in maybe 5 pips of profit. Around 4 pips. Nothing crazy, right? You know, around 4 or 5 pips of profit. Again, this is pretty much a 1 minute setup, though, by the way, guys. So just keep that in mind, right? Alright, let's go ahead. Hopefully we can continue to hold this low now, right? If we close back above it, then that might bring us back up to retest that level. Alright, but I want to see this thing run. Alright, so we didn't close below it. So this is probably telling me, guys, that there's a potential for this thing to come back up, retest this order block up there as well before we actually make that move. So we're just going to hold it. I will be going break even once we actually do end up closing below this low, right? Like, once we get a candle to close below it, that's when I would like to go break even, right? Like on a closure below this. If it comes back up and stops us out, it is what it is, right? I'm accepting that. But I want to move my stops and protect myself once we close below it. So we'll see what this market gives us. Let's see. How do you put the dollar signs? That's just creating a template on the actual, right? So your trend line tool, all right? I just created a template. All right, so take your trend line, click it, go to the text, type in whatever you want to type in. If it's a dollar size, you type in dollar signs, whatever the case may be, and then just save the template down here, right? Save template. Okay, so that's how you do that. All right, so we got that close below, guys. So I'm moving my stops to break even. I'm rolling my stops to break even on this now, since again it is a 1 minute time frame. So I'm rolling my stops to break even. We're up almost 10 pips right now, so that's looking very good. Stops is going to be at 103.79 is where mine is going to be at, 103.79. So now we are going to be risk free on this opportunity, and now we just let it play out. The whole goal is obviously to come down to here. Like, my take profit is only back down to these lows, guys, right? For around 20 pips, 18 pips. Okay, so that's it. Can we break this level? I mean, it is very possible for us to break that level for sure, but if we break it, then we'll just look for another play. You know, I just like this level down here because this is a very strong level. All right, I don't think we're gonna. I mean, it is possible, right? We are starting to get into 9 o'clock, but I don't think we're gonna break it too easily, right? But we'll see, right? We'll see. Overall, I'm taking profit right here. Very close to take profit already. Let's see, guys. If you guys are in this trade with me, let me know in the chats. Let me know in the chats. Yeah, it looks good. I mean, we're getting very close to that level, guys. Right? Take profit level. Let's see. Look at that nice play. That was a nice sell-off. Right? I'm not liking this area right here because we had a lot of buyer demand pick up down here, guys. So I'm about to just close. I'm about to close this one. I'm closing my trade right here. Closing my trade right there. I closed out. I closed out. I closed out. All right, we called around 15 pips, 15 to 20 pips, depending on your entry. And then we'll just look for another re-entry, right? The beautiful thing about playing these little smaller time frames, guys, right? I'm out. I'm out the trade, by the way. I'm out. Right? We caught this nice drop. Again, you know, our risk, you know, just so you guys can see where it was. Our risk was for around 6 pips, right? Let me go ahead and bring this up. Right, so this was our risk, guys, right? So this was a 3-to-1 risk reward, right? And I know some of you guys are saying, Abel, bro, only 15 pips. Again, we got to understand, guys, right? Don't worry about how much the target can be. And this is the reason why. Because with our risk being up here, this was a 3-to-1 risk reward, right? Which means we're making 3 times our risk. So if our risk was 1%, I made 3% on this one trade. I made 3% on this one trade. Right, risk to reward. Right, I made 3% on this one setup that literally took about 5 minutes. Right, literally took less than 5 to 10 minutes. I made 3% because, again, I'm playing the risk to reward game. Right, our entry was up here, stops was up here for 6 pips. Our risk to reward, if I'm risking 1%, I made 3% gains. That's amazing. That's beautiful. Right, risk to reward is the name of the game anyways, family. Right, but that was a quick trade. That was a banger. That was an absolute banger, right? I'm out. And like I said, now we can start to see what the market is about to do. Right, because there could be a chance now for this thing to run this level and then potentially give us another opportunity to go ahead and get it. Right, because I do think we're going to probably continue dropping. But we just have a lot of structure right here, right? We have to break this level first now to get me my confidence back. All right, we have to break that level to give me my confidence back, right? But this was a banger, an absolute banger, right? If you actually did your calculations right, and if you actually risked 1%, guys, then you should have made 3% on your account, right? So even if it's a $100 account, you should have made $3, right? Which, again, I get it. $3 is like, Abel, I can't even get out of my bed for $3. I get it. But you have to understand the percentage. Imagine if that $100 account was a $10,000 account. Right? See, now that 3% is looking a little different, right? So don't focus too much on your account size. Focus on the percentage gains, right? This is the biggest thing that causes most traders, guys, to not succeed, is because they're looking at their account balance. They're saying, Abel, I don't want to just make a $3. I'm trying to make $100 off of a $100 account, and that's why you screw up. 3% is phenomenal. It just might not seem that way, obviously, because of your account balances, right? Your lot size. I get it. But 3%, just think about if you had more zeros in your account, which eventually you will be, right? Because you're going to start to deposit more money into your account over time and grow it to that point. Once you get more zeros, you're gonna see how powerful that 3% really is. All right, so just keep in mind of that, guys, right? But this was an absolute banger. Now, before I get into anything else, though, right? Because I do want to go ahead and take a look at a lot of these other pairs that you guys are talking about. I know gold has been called out a bunch of different times, so I'll take a look at gold. But before we even do that, did you guys see how we played this? Right? Did you guys see how we played this up here? Like, was that clear how I was being so patient? How I was waiting for confirmation? Because that's the biggest thing here, right? It's that patience, waiting for that confirmation, waiting for that actual time to go ahead and jump in. Right? That's powerful. Let's see, my $3 is 300 in my head. Exactly, right? I love that. I love that, Q. Everything, Q. I love that, right? Yeah, it's all mindset. It really is. Right? But waiting for that confirmation, waiting for the market to give us what we're looking for. All right? That is what we got to do. That is the type of patience you have to have. Right? We could have taken it when it came back up to here, but I didn't have that engulfing. I didn't have that confirmation just yet that we were going to drop. My confirmation was, again, we got the engulfing up here off of our extreme highs, which is crucial. But once we dropped, and then we gave us that second confirmation, once we swept this high up here, we engulfed once again. That was my entry right there all day long. Right, like this trade literally took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. In and out, 3% just like that. 3% just like that. Right, so, you know, again, it's just that patience is crucial. Waiting for what you're looking for is crucial. Okay, but that's done and dusted. We'll come back to it. We'll look at it a little bit later, guys, to see what the market does end up giving us. If there is any other opportunities, that would be cool. Whether the market decides to pull back up from this level, that's a possibility, right, that we could probably target. Or if we just run this level right here, wait for that pullback, and then we go ahead and look for that continuation, that could be a play too, right? You know, but we'll see. All right, we'll be patient on that. Let's go take a look at the markets, guys. I know a lot of you guys been really wanting to see gold. I think there's been others that were looking at US 30 as well and things like that. So let's take a look at this now and see what we got here for gold. Gold is looking like it wants to drop. It looks similar to what EU was doing, and I'm pretty sure a lot of these pairs, guys, are going to be moving the same exact way, right? I mean, just for reference, right? Just so you guys are aware of what this is and how to play this, guys, right? Just to make things simple, right? Because if you guys knew what I was looking at for EU, then you guys should have knew exactly what the direction was going to be for gold. All right, you guys should have knew what the direction was going to be for the indices, right? NAS, US 30, S&P, because we're really playing off of the dollar. The dollar strength is really the deciding factor, guys, as to what is going to happen for a lot of these plays. So if I'm dollar bullish, right? If I have a bullish dollar idea, right? This is telling me, right, that anything that ends in USD should drop. Right? Anything that ends in USD, right? Not necessarily just Euro USD, but anything that ends in USD should drop. That should be the overall bias, right? That should be the correlation between the dollar and the pairs itself. Where on the flip side, right, if the dollar is bullish, anything that begins in USD should rise, right? And again, it's the same thing across the board. Okay, so if I have a bullish dollar scenario, then I'm expecting Euro USD, AUD USD, gold, right, NAS, even the indices, right? I'm expecting NAS, SPX, US 30, right? I'm expecting all of these to drop, all of them, all because the dollar right now, guys, is the daddy, is daddy dollar, right? It is the strongest currency right now. It is the safe haven during these times of fear, uncertainty, and doubt that we have, that everybody is running towards. Right, so the dollar itself is making the biggest deciding factor overall as to what's happening. All right, so if I'm selling EU, then all of these should also potentially be dropping. Okay, let's see. Can't hear you. Can you guys hear me, family? Let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat. Right, let me know if you guys can hear me in the chat. Want to make sure that we are good. On my end, everything is good. I'm not seeing no issues on my side. So hopefully it's not too crazy for everybody. All right, good. Loud and clear. All right, perfect. All right, so do you guys understand this with the correlations though? That instrumental trying to make his debut, right? Do you guys understand like what I'm saying here? Right, with these correlations, right? So if you see me analyzing the euro and I'm saying I expect the euro to drop, then take understanding of that, right? It's probably gonna drop across the entire board. Okay, perfect. All right, so with that said, gold, right? Yeah, I think there is a good chance that gold could continue. All right, I think there's a good chance that gold can continue. You know, we did end up seeing the market ultimately, you know, spike above this high right here, right? Little level of liquidity, right? We ran the highs and then we immediately rejected back down low, right? So the next thing that we could look for, I mean, all right, baby, love you. Can you give me some coffee?
Do you actually want coffee? Or do you want
No, hell no. You know I don't like coffee. I just like to say it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a frappe or a hot chocolate?
I don't like Starbucks hot chocolate. Some shit is nasty.
You're disrespectful as fuck.
Nah, Starbucks hot chocolates is disgusting.
You're disgusting.
Dunkin' Donuts hot chocolates, yeah. But I will take the caramel thing that I normally get.
What's that?
Venti me.
Sorry, people. You want a couch?
Please, thank you. All right, so yeah, this is interesting, right? For gold, because just looking at how it's looking at right now, like this level looks like it actually wants to hold right now, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if this thing ends up spiking us back to the upside off of this play right here, right? It definitely looks like it. I don't know. This looks interesting for sure, right? But I also see that we are seeing a lot more bearish momentum as well. All right, a lot more bearish momentum. Let's see, which does yen correlate with? I believe I saw someone in the chat say when the dollar is weak, the yen is strong. I mean, yeah, that's just because of the USD JPY pair, right? That correlation is true, right? Whenever the dollar is strong, the yen is going to be weak. When the dollar is weak, the yen is going to be gaining strength off of that. That's just, yeah. Let's see. See, bro, that's why we're friends. Shout out to that boy Skaggs in the building. What's going on, my brother? Starbucks hot chocolate. Nah, Starbucks hot chocolate is nasty. Like, I'll take Dunkin' Donuts hot chocolate all day long. Right? Their hot chocolate actually goes crazy. The Starbucks hot chocolate, I don't know. It's not chocolatey enough for me. It tastes too bitter. I don't know. What's your guys' favorite type of hot chocolate, right? Do you guys prefer, I mean, not even just hot. Do you guys prefer Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts? For coffee, for hot chocolate? What do you guys think? All right, what do you guys think, family? Right, do you guys like Starbucks, or are you guys more of a Dunkin' Donuts fan? Because Dunkin' is definitely elite for the hot chocolate. I'll take Dunkin' hot chocolate all day long. Let's see. I see we got a lot of Dunkin' Donuts fans. You are hilarious, Kyle. You said you talk about Starbucks be running their chocolate through the coffee maker. That's what it tastes like, right? It's too bitter. It's disgusting, right? Now, I'm not a coffee guy, right? So I don't really drink coffee like that. But what I do like from Starbucks, and this is normally what I actually get, right? I love those caramel ribbon crunches, right? I love those caramel ribbon crunch frappes. Those are my go-tos. I'll take that over the hot chocolate any day of the week. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. All right, I'll take that. But if we're comparing just hot chocolate, Starbucks they gotta go get more lessons or something. Starbucks hot chocolate is disgusting. It's disgusting, absolutely disgusting. Let's see, bro, La Abuelita hot chocolate. Yeah, that too. Shoot, my mom was right in the kitchen over there. Shoot, my mom be making the best hot chocolate for sure. Like that homemade hot chocolate is definitely crazy. Definitely goes crazy. That's a fact. Let's see. Not a fan of Starbucks. Haven't got Dunkin' here. Ooh. Let's see. Starbucks don't have enough chocolate. No disrespect. It's all disrespect, Tony. They deserve the disrespect. Like, I'm telling Starbucks that their hot chocolate is disgusting, and I say that disrespectfully. Like, disrespectfully, I say that. Because there is disgusting. All right, let's see what else we got here, though, guys. Just a recap. For gold, there's nothing really too interesting that I'm liking for gold. maybe if we come back up to these extremes, we could look for something. But even that, I'm not too confident in us, you know, giving us. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too confident in that play up there, but it is possible. All right, it is possible if we come back up to these extremes to catch something. But I'm gonna be chilling on that one. Let's see. Somebody has said AUD USD did a similar thing. AUD USD did give us a nice, also little sell-off right there. That was pretty nice. Nice little drop. Let's see what else we got here. Dunkin' Donuts is Dunkin' Donuts is the OG for sure. Do you go live every day? Because I'm sorry, Priest. I know you asked a bunch of times. Priest, this is specifically for you, Priest. Right? I do not go live every single day here. We have been going live. I go live typically Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and I typically go live on Asian sessions during this on this channel. But I do have a company channel that me and my team have that we go live during New York session. At least we've been doing it for now. We've been going live New York session every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as well. All right, so if you guys are not following the Profit Society YouTube channel, go ahead and go over there and subscribe to that. That channel is absolutely on fire. You know, it's a collective of myself and 3 other phenomenal traders, and I mean the value that we provide on that channel is absolutely next level, right? I'm pretty sure the chat can agree, right? I know a lot of you guys in the chat are on that channel too, and you guys can also agree that the value that's given as a collective is literally, I mean, it's uncomparable, right? It's invaluable. It's next level for sure, right? So definitely go ahead and check out that Profit Society YouTube channel. If somebody can do me a solid and go ahead and just drop the actual link to the Profit Society YouTube channel in the chat, I appreciate you. I love you guys for that, right? But yeah. So let's see what we got here. Now I'm trying to find. So I like USD CAD at 1.34. Let's see what we got here. USD CAD 1.34039. 1.34039. You're looking for the short, I'm guessing. 1.34039. Let's see. 1.34039. So you want to see the market run above these highs. Yeah, and this is one of the setups, guys, that I actually ended up taking a loss on yesterday. All right, was this USD CAD, and it's, I mean, you could say that we were a little bit too early to the party for the buys itself, you know, but it is what it is. You know, we're trying to play off of, you know, continuations of what the market was doing, right? I wanted to see this thing just continue up into this area, you know, but it just didn't do that. You know, this thing ended up coming back down slowly but surely. Ended up stopping me out. Why did I just say ended up twice like that? Ended up ended up stopping me out. And now we are starting to see this thing rebound. So I'm still thinking it's going to continue. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the week, guys, I do think we're going to end up running into this whole big pocket of liquidity that we have here. So I don't see that changing. All right. So if you are in some buys, right, I think we do have potential for this thing to continue to the upside. All right, I do think we have that potential. For me, there's nothing that I will be interested in right now, though, because if I was looking for another entry, it's probably going to be somewhere down at these extremes over here. You know, so the only way I'm looking for a trade, right, if we get down into these extreme levels, then yeah, you know, I'll be looking for a nice opportunity, similar to what we did with EU, right? For those of you guys that missed out, like we just caught this absolute banger here on EU, right? Like literally a quick, you know, 3-to-1 risk to reward, right? Risking. Yeah, we were risking, you know, 3 times. We're going for 3 times our risk, all right, and absolutely smashed. Like, how long were we in this trade, family? Right, we were in this trade for what, 5 minutes, right? Like, literally entered on this engulfing. This thing went to our take profit in 5 minutes, right? So that was an absolute banger, right? But it's because we waited for the extremes, all right? We waited for price to get into our extreme levels, and then we're being patient, right? And let the market get what we want or looking for. So same thing for USD CAD, right? I'm expecting still some more continuations to the upside, but I need to wait for the market to get back into our extremes. All right, and then when we get up there, if we can get up there, then I'll go ahead and look for that continuation. Because again, keep in mind, we're on a 1 minute time frame, guys, right? These are lower time frame opportunities here. Okay, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna be playing, right? We're gonna see what the market gives us overall. Let's see. Not a fan of hot drinks. I'm with you, Chaos. I'm gonna be honest. I'm with you too. I'm not too fan of. The only hot drink that I would take is hot chocolate. Other than that, I'm really not too big of a fan of anything. Like, I'm not a fan of coffee, right? Like, that's just not my. It's not my thing, right? That's why I typically get those caramel ribbon crunch frappes. Them is my go-tos. All right, them is my go-tos for sure. Abel spends 15,000 a year on frappes. Nah, that's no lie. I that is no lie, guys. I do be spending. I need to chill. All right. I mean, between me and my wife, we probably spend a good $20 a day, $25 a day at Starbucks. Unfortunately, which is I mean, it is what it is, right? I used to have worse habits that I was spending way more weekly on, right? But yeah, we've been spending like we spend like $25 a week, you know, between the 2 coffees, the sandwiches. It adds up tremendously, right? We're talking about $100 to $150 a week in just Starbucks. It's insane, right? Insane. But you best believe I got my Starbucks app, and you best believe I'm getting all those points. You guys are tripping. Yesterday I got a free coffee, right? Yesterday we got a free one, all right? Because I'm over here adding up my points. I'm not playing around with them, right? Starbucks gang, man, we got to at least take something. They got to give me something if I'm spending $150 a week. I need some. I need at least a free drink every other week or so. Yeah, facts. Oh, man. Yeah, free is for me, 100%. 100%, guys, right? So let's see what we can get. Overall, you know, we got to wait for these markets to give us some type of a pullback now. Right? We got to wait for these markets to give me some type of a pullback. All right? I need some type of a pullback now to get involved. Let's just be patient. See what happens. EURUSD, again, I think this is probably eventually going to end up running. Oil is just tanking. Gold is not really doing too much. So yeah, there's really not much we can do. Now we just got to be patient. Let's see. They told the guy who started Starbucks that if it wouldn't work and no one would pay those prices for drinks, he's having the last laugh. Oh yeah, 100%. Starbucks is easily probably one of the most popular coffee businesses in the world right now, right? Starbucks definitely made a name for itself. You know, they definitely didn't make that name from their hot chocolate, though. I'll tell you that much. All right, they definitely did not make their name for hot chocolates. That's one thing that we all. I mean, I do it myself, right? Like, I need to send them a letter. Like, they need to take some pointers from Dunkin' Donuts when it comes to the hot chocolate, because their hot chocolate is absolutely garbage. All right, they're definitely not known for hot chocolate. You can tell that they really don't sell too much hot chocolate by the taste of it. You can just tell, all right? Because I'm pretty sure anybody that's tasted it has complaints about it. Like, you can just tell, all right? I'm being honest. Like, yeah, they don't sell too much hot chocolate. You could just tell. All right. Let's see. EU dropping. EU is tanking. Let's go, right? So that's what we wanted to see, right? We wanted to see this thing now break, right? Because I know for me, again, I got out of the trade, right? But now that we're getting this extra confirmation, again, my whole thing, guys, is I do think we could really start to see this thing finally shift. You know, we've been, you know, just pushing up higher this entire week. We really haven't done much this entire week, guys, like at all, right? Like we opened the week over here on EU at 1.034. And we're only 10, 15 pips away from where we opened the week at, right? So this week has been extremely, extremely choppy, right? But now it's looking like we're finally starting to see what we wanted to see initially, right? Which is that continuation to the downside. So now it's just about waiting for the next best opportunity. Right? We're starting to get those confirmations, right? Now it's all about, yeah, just being patient, okay? What I would like to see, personally, see if we can get another re-entry is how we play off of this level right here. Right, you know, we did just run above this high, and that's when we initially start to see that nice strong push. So maybe if we come back up to this extreme up here, guys, we can look to like that same exact play that we look for up here, right? Being patient, right? Waiting for candlestick confirmation. But if we come up to here and we see that engulfing again, right, on that retest, we can go ahead and possibly look for that continuation for sure, right? So, you know, we'll see what happens though, right? I like it. You know, let's just be patient and see what the market gives us. Let's see. Let's see. Can you buy stocks? 100% you can. 100% you can. Man, I'm skiing those US 30 sales. Okay. Yeah, USD 30. Yeah, US 30 is definitely doing nice too. And we're about to have market open too in about 15 minutes for US 30, and this thing's already making moves. This thing could be a banger. Yeah, I mean, if you got in at that entry at those highs, man, definitely make sure to roll your stops. Protect yourself at all costs, because we are again about to enter into New York Market Exchange Open, where indices are really going to start to gain volatility, gain volume. So if you're all the way up here somewhere, yeah, stops, roll your stops, you know, and just let this thing ride out. Right? I think there's a very good chance that we do continue going to the downside here. I think there's a very good chance for that too, right? So that does look good. And it's going to be the same thing for a lot of these plays, guys, right? A lot of these plays going to be very, very similar for sure. Go ahead and erase this. I don't even want to look at that no more. See, NAS really hasn't even dropped yet, right? US 30 already gave us this break of structure on the 1 minute, where NAS hasn't even done it just yet, right? But in all reality, I mean, the structure is a little bit different. It's a little tad different. But what I think is happening, I think all of this trend line liquidity is going to be broken. All right, I think there's a good chance that we end up seeing this thing really go ahead and definitely run this trend line. So yeah, this could be a good possibility too for NAS. You know, if we can maybe see the market come back up to these extremes right here on this 1 minute, and if we can hold that level and get that reaction that we want to see, that can be an opportunity. That could be an opportunity for sure. All right, so let's see. Yeah, Euro is doing nice. Euro is just dropping. Keep going for us. That's fine. All right, on the pullback, once we do get it, if we can get it, we'll be ready for it. Actually, let me set an alert just so that I make sure that I'm aware of it. All right, AUD USD. AUD USD is just absolutely tanking right now. All right, this looks absolutely good, guys. I think this is probably going to continue running as well. At this point, we're probably going to come all the way down and run this level of structure. You know, capture liquidity below here, and then come back down to these extreme lows. Right, so if you guys did take that AUD USD entry as well, that thing is doing phenomenal. Right, absolutely doing phenomenal, right? I mean, look at this play up here, right? This was looking juicy. All right, we had these equal highs. We ran the highs. We got the reaction, the rejection, and this thing just started to tank. This thing just started to tank. Beautiful play here. All right, so I mean, a lot of these moves already happened, guys. There's really not much we can do now. Now it's just a matter of waiting for price to get back into areas that make the most sense. All right, this is where the patient part of trading comes in again. Right, just like how we were extremely patient for EU this morning. Right, we were extremely patient for this, and now we got to get back into our patient bag. Right, we got to get back into our patient bag. See what the market gives us. I'm gonna set up the setup so you guys can see what I'm initially gonna be looking for, but I'm not taking the trade though until we get confirmation. Okay, so this is what I want to look for though now, a re-entry here, but I'm not taking it until we get that confirmation. All right, but I'm putting it here just so you guys can see what I want to see. All right, I want to see the price push back up now, retest this last bullish candlestick that got engulfed, that broke structure, capture liquidity, all that good stuff. Right, so that's what I'm looking for now. You know, we already caught this banger for 3%. Now we're going to see if we can catch this one for sure. And I think there's a good chance that we do continue running these lows. All right, we have this low right here, guys. These equal lows that's being formed. That is, again, probably going to be building up more liquidity. So, yeah, you know, that's what I'm going to be targeting. Possibly targeting, you know, a run of that level. Probably even down to these levels down here. All right, let's see what we got here. What does dollar mean? Equals liquidity. Yeah, shout out to you, Devin. Appreciate you. Let's see. EU going to go to that 1.0316 level area. I think so. That's what I would like to see. All right, I would like to see EU eventually come down to these lows. That would be pretty interesting. All right, that's what I would like to target. You know, but we gotta see what the market gives us now. Let's see. I have a broker entry for, is the off quotes error message due to the FIFO rules? No, you're not really gonna see that message for anything to do with MT4. All right, the FIFO rule is usually for regulated brokers, right? Which really don't trade regulated brokers on MT4. All right. Yeah, just like Sky said, right? That's more of an error on connection, things like that, right? But it's not going to happen for U.S. brokers. That's definitely not because of the FIFO rule. Let's see. NZD Swiss also playing well down. Okay, let's go take a look at that. Damn, look at this, right? Sheesh, look at that play. You see how I was talking about Shintaka? You see what we were talking about, right? How I said I wanted to see this high get ran. I believe this high was going to get ran right here, right? And then off of that run of the highs, then we can start to look for some, you know, some sell pressure to come in. All right, yeah, this thing is absolutely tanking as well. Yeah, see that's what I'm talking about. Waiting for those plays, right? Waiting for the run of liquidities. All right, that was an absolute banger too, right? You know, these highs were very suspect, so you know, it looks very, very good. Looks very juicy for sure. This thing is absolutely going to the downside. Looks good. Looks very, very good. Let's see. I don't think it's pretty concerning that England. Don't you think it's pretty concerning that England's inflation? Wouldn't that put their currency at risk? That's a great thought. I mean, again, you know, their inflation, guys, is out of control, right? You know, it's going crazy over there in the UK right now, right? You know, there's obviously the ECB and the Bank of England that are both dealing with runaway inflation at this point. You know, both of those central banks, guys, are now having to pretty much be a lot more aggressive with tightening to try to combat that, because both of them, right, the European Central Bank, right, and the Bank of England, like both of those CPI numbers are above 10% now, right? I think they're actually above 11%, which is insane. But all that's telling us is that they're going to have to be a lot more aggressive, right, with their approach. They're going to have to tighten up a lot more. They're going to have to continue to increase interest rates by at least these 75 basis points. But I would not be surprised, right? I would not be surprised if, right, because look at this. They actually have both of their next meetings are on the same exact day, right? It's December 15th. I wouldn't be surprised if now they actually start to consider raising it by 100 basis points. Right? I really would not be surprised by that at all. Like, I just wouldn't. Right? Because, again, there's no signs of them slowing down. So December 15th for both of these, I think they're probably going to have to be a lot more aggressive. Right? And not just do 75, but consider doing a full 1% or a full 100 basis points. Which is going to do what? Right? It's probably going to bring some strength to them. Right? It could bring strength to the currency, because their equity markets are going to get destroyed, right? Like if I mean, I'm not sure. Let me see. I should have kept it up there, right? But let me see if I could find their equity markets for, I don't even know what it would be, right? For you guys over there in the UK, right? What is your guys' indices over there in the UK? Like, what indices do you guys have over there? Because I just can't think of it right now. All right, what indices do you guys have over there in the UK? Let's see. Damn, I had them all up here too. Okay, we got the DAX 30. All right. DAX 30 is the German US 30. UK 100, GER 30. DAX and the FTSE. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, and this is why it's like you would typically think, right, with inflation being as high as it is, that you will start to see this thing turn around, right? High inflation usually gonna lead to this thing ended up shifting lower. But the same thing that we've been talking about over here, guys, with us is probably seasonality is playing a role, right? Q4, guys, again, is a time where the markets usually do a little bit of a rebound, right? They start to shift because going into Q4, there's a lot of things that are going to happen. So I still think, though, we are eventually going to see this thing run away, right? I think we're going to see a lot more downside eventually for GER 30, eventually for UK 100, right? I think we are going to see lower pricing for these, right? There's no reason why this should continue to go high, especially if inflation is still, you know, completely out of control the way that it is, right? So that's my opinion, right? I think these indices are probably going to end up dropping. I believe their economies are going to continue to get destroyed overall, or at least they should be, just because of how inflation is doing. So I don't know. It's interesting times, right? And that's what I was talking to you guys about earlier, right? About that confliction that I've been having, right? Because the data is pointing to one thing, but because of different data, it could be saying something else, right? And that's yeah, it's a little bit of a confliction for sure, right? That I'm experiencing right now. Right, but we'll see what happens. Let's go back. Let's see. EURUSD is just tanking, which is cool. Right, I'm pretty much not going to try to chase that. All right, we're not going to chase that. We do got about 5 minutes, guys, until the open of the stock exchange over here in the U.S. So we'll see how the market reacts, how the market gives us. Let's see what the market is doing now. US 30, S&P is starting to rebound. All right, is S&P and NAS is already starting to push up. All right, let's see how the market plays out. I think NAS, again, my initial area for NAS was to run this level, right, from a bigger perspective, get us up into this level up here, right, just from a nice little higher time frame area. This area right here, guys, just looks so attractive to run. Right, this area looks right here, just looks so attractive. I think we already ran those highs right there for sure. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and fill at least, all of this inefficiency that we have here, right? So that looks interesting. All right, that looks interesting. That looks very, very interesting. Let's see how the market plays out. All right, let's see how the market plays out, guys, right? Depending on how it plays out, we might be able to catch some plays, right? But I'm going to be patient, right? I want to see how the market plays out overall once we open up. Let it play for the first 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then see what happens. All right, and we'll see what happens. Let's see what we got here. Did they delete MT4? So they deleted all of those MT4 and MT5 from the App Store as of right now, right? But if you originally had downloaded it before in the past, then you can always get it again. But if it's somebody that's new trying to re-download it for the first time, then they're going to have to just be patient. They're going to either have to be patient or go to the desktop, because you can still download it from the desktop. Like, you can go right to MetaTrader 4 and download it directly off the desktop. It's just through the App Store, they took it away. All right, they took it away. Let's see. How do I get into the fundamental aspect of trading, right? Definitely, just like what Q said, my bootcamp is a good start. But there's a lot of different ways to do it, right? It's all about just identifying what you're identifying. Let me see. Yeah, the best way is probably going to be just grabbing my bootcamp. Even if you just wanted to grab that one specific day, right? Because I have one entire training around 2 hours long, all about the fundamental side of things. You can definitely go and grab that. That'll probably be the quickest way for you to really at least be aware of what's going on. But then other than that, it's all about you listening to actual analysts on TV, right? Like actually paying attention to what's happening, understanding the correlations, right? Understanding how the market reacts to interest rates going up, right? To a hawkish environment. Understanding, how inflation is influencing these currencies, right? It's not an easy thing to do. It definitely takes some time to really understand the fundamental side of things, but it's, extremely powerful, right? That has really taken my trading to a whole nother level for sure, all right? Which is understanding the fundamental side of things. Gave me a lot more perspective. Let's see. Gold is just dropping. Look at gold. Gold is just dropping. EU is still tanking as well. Nice. All right, our initial entry was all the way down, all the way up there too. Hello? Hello? All right, so let's see. We got less than 30 seconds. Let's see how the market starts to react. Let's just be patient, and we'll see what the opportunity comes up, if there is any opportunity that comes up. Gold is tanking. Let's see. That Black Friday sale on the bootcamp ends today, right? Technically, it does. Yeah. All right. I've been giving everybody the heads up. After this weekend, guys, like the bootcamp itself is probably not going to be available, right? Because then I got to focus on, obviously doing a lot more things with implementing it into my course, integrating it into my course, and then I'm just gonna be preparing for my actual course drop, which hopefully will be in the next few weeks or so. But yeah, the boot camp is going to be closing technically on tomorrow, on Saturday, it'll be closing. Let's see. What broker do you use? So I personally use a couple, right? I use different ones for whether if it's a funded account through a prop firm or whether it's my actual personal account. So my personal account ones, I either use NAS Markets is one of them that I've been using pretty often, pretty consistently for the past year. And I also use FX Sway, right? Those are the tools that I'm currently using. FX Sway, NAS Markets, those are the go-tos that I personally have. And yeah. Let's see, once purchased, how long do we have access? Lifetime, all right? Once you purchase the bootcamp, you get lifetime access. And yes, Jose, you are grandfathered into the actual full course when I do drop it, right? So yeah, for those of you guys that are interested, grab the bootcamp. It gets you grandfathered into the actual full course when that drops. And you're pretty much saving a lot of money, all right? Because, when my course drops, guys, it's going to be, definitely a higher price than what the bootcamp is, obviously. It's going to be double the price of the bootcamp. So if you want to get grandfathered in, then by all means, definitely go ahead and grab that. All right, so you can at least get the boot camp or the entire course at a much cheaper price. All right, so let's see what we got here. Gold is just looks like it's about to just tank. I don't think EU is going to give us that entry that we wanted. All right, EU is just tanking as well. All right, again, I wanted to see EU come back up to this level up here, see if we get an entry, but this thing looks like it wants to tank. How's the indices playing off of? Indices gave us an initial sell-off, right? Look at that drop, right? Interesting move here, right? S&P probably dropping. US 30 got the delayed drop, right? US 30 is a little bit delayed as well, all right? So that's interesting, right? Now, do these drops actually hold, though? Right? Do these drops actually hold, right? Well, did we collect some type of liquidity or enough liquidity that could send this thing much lower? Possibly, right? Dollar's probably gaining strength. Yep, the dollar's also going to be gaining strength as well, which is pretty much what we wanted to see anyways. We wanted dollar strength to come in. All right, yeah, this is interesting, guys, right? I think the dollar could really continue its strength for sure. All right, I think the dollar can continue its strength for sure, right? So, I mean, we'll see, though. Again, I'm not in any other positions. I'm just going to be patient, all right? I don't like to jump in as soon as market opens, all right? Because we could see a lot of whiplashing occur. So we're going to see what the market does. Just be very patient with this. Gold is just absolutely falling off the face of the earth, man. I wish it would have gave us an entry. All right, I wanted to see an entry back up at these extremes, man, but it doesn't look like we're going to get that. I mean, it is possible still for price to come back up there. We are looking at a smaller time frame, but for right now, there's really nothing we can do for gold. That thing is moving pretty nicely. Let's see what we go here. Let's see. GJ is just tanking as well. All right, GJ is starting to tank as well. Very interesting. Interesting. I don't know. This UJ looks delayed, guys. UJ looks like it's behind. UCAT is just flying now, right? Like UCAT is flying. See, we ended up getting in around these levels yesterday. My stops was right below this level right here, this candlestick. All right, so I ended up swiping that low, and now this thing just is flying UCAT. Wow. Again, I'm still expecting dollar strength for right now. So that's what I'm gonna be looking for if we do find any other opportunities. And that brings me into UJ. Like, why is UJ still so delayed? Or like everything else is reacting off of dollar strength, but UJ is just chilling down at these levels. Like, what are you trying to tell me, UJ? Are you trying to give us an opportunity to get in, buddy? Is that what you're doing? Because you don't want to test my gangster, buddy. I don't know. This little lag in UJ is definitely something that's interesting, guys, right? Let me see. Let's see. UJ, you are very interesting. What? Huh. I want to see how UJ acts inside of this extreme low. Right? I want to see how UJ is playing inside of these extremes. Right? Did the dollar turn around? I mean, we're getting a little bit. Okay, gold. I see what you're doing. Swipe below these lows. Instant engulfing back up. Oh. This could be an opportunity here on gold as well. Let's see. I like that reaction. Right, we are starting to see some buying strength come in. Were these initial pushes, were they just false pushes? That's the question I got here now, right? Like for gold, was this initial sell-off only to come back down to these lows and test liquidity, and now this thing could possibly send us back up? It's possible. It is possible. The market gonna do what it wants to do. Oops. It is possible. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Interesting. Again, we don't want to play, guys, like the first few minutes of the market open, right? Because there's just a lot that happens, right? So we're gonna be patient, like I've been saying all stream, right? The moral of the story of this stream, guys, has been patience. All right, patience is what got us that banger on EU. All right, so let's see how the market plays off, right? Because I mean, NAS is dropping. US 30 as well is doing a little bit different than what the other indices are doing, right? So let's see. Let's see. I don't know. What are you guys thinking, family? What are you guys thinking in the chat? How are you guys feeling in the chat? Let's see. Made 1K. I'm done for the day. Let's go. That boy Dev is on fire. Let's go. I love it. I love it. I love it. I will sign up for your bootcamp tonight. Let's get it, Dennis. Let's get it. How's EU doing? EU, is it rebounding? Yeah, EU starting to rebound a little bit as well. Okay. Interesting. Mighty interesting. Very interesting. Let's see. Stakes Starbucks on Devin. Let's go. I love it. I love it. Would you say FX Sway is trusted, right? I mean, I actually know the owner of FX Sway. All right, like I actually know the owner of him. So, yeah, I believe it's trusted for sure. Obviously, I don't know people too well, right? But you know, I've known the owner for a few years now. All right, so yeah. Let's see. I need Abel's rewards for Starbucks on me. Devin already owes us a lot, Devin. You already gave us your word, Devin. We're in Michigan. You're taking us out to eat. All right, don't think we forgot, buddy. Don't think we forgot, buddy. All right. I know everybody in the chat heard it too when you said it. You said food on you, dinner on you, drinks on Devin when we're all in Michigan. So if you guys are in Michigan already, family, you know, go ahead and link up with Devin. I don't even know if you're in Michigan right now, Devin, but you be flip-flopping back and forth to Michigan, Ohio. I don't even know. Let's see. I'm getting that one that comes with the little gold flakes on it. Yeah, I'm getting a tomahawk steak for sure on Devin's name. Devin's tab is gonna be like $5,000 after us, 10,000 after us. Let's see. Have a great weekend. Have a great week to you too. Thank you for tuning in, Q. Appreciate you. So you got a Black Friday sale on your boot camp. Did I hear that right? I mean, I've always had a 10% off for the longest, right? I know some of you guys have definitely taken advantage of it. I just haven't promoted it. But I've always had a 10% coupon code, right? Literally for the longest. It's ProTrader is the coupon code, right? But what I can do is I could possibly even add another 5% for a like a Black Friday deal, just because this last weekend it's probably gonna be the last time to get in anyways, right? So I'll go ahead and I'll create another coupon code. It's gonna be Black Friday, coupon code Black Friday, and that will give you 15% off instead of 10. All right, let me actually go ahead and do this real quick. I can find a way to break through. Black Friday. Coupon code has now been created. All right, so there you go. Black Friday is the coupon code. Now you get an extra 5% off of what I already put off. All right, so 15% off. Yeah, take advantage of that if you want to. You don't have to, right? But if you want to. Let's see, 6-1 on UCAT and 21 on GBPNZD. I'm done for the week and taking next week off. Phase 2 on FTM and Koi and 200K pass. Let's go. Yo, Christian, bro, we're going to have to get you on one of these live streams with us, bro. We're going to have to get you on the live stream too, man, because you've been doing your thing. You, Devin, and I know there's a few of you guys too. Even Eric, right? Eric as well. It'll be pretty fire, you know, to come on the stream, you know, give your thoughts and opinions. You know, that would be pretty fire. Absolutely. Good thing y'all call out Vegas so I could pay for it. Oh man, let's go. I love it. I love it. I love it. Indices, staying patient with the longs. Yeah, we gotta be patient. This thing is definitely dropping. Which, if dollar strength does actually play out like I think it could, then indices are probably going to continue to drop. Right? If dollar strength does come in like I think it could, indices are probably going to continue to drop. All right, let's see what we got here. Yeah, I mean, these things all already moving, guys. Like, these things are already moving. Let's see, UJ. See, now look at UJ, right? UJ over here playing games. I'm telling you, I would not be surprised, guys, if UJ actually starts flying, right? Just because everything else dollar-wise has already been making moves. Look at this, right? All these other dollar pairs, guys, have already made a move, right? Maybe not GU, but that could be obviously just, you know, the news, the data that just came out is also pretty fresh. All right, so I wouldn't be surprised if UJ absolutely starts to fly. Like, I don't know. I just would not be surprised at all by it. In fact, I think we should have considered taking at least a dab at it down at these lows. Right? We definitely should have considered it because we are at these extreme lows anyways. All right, and the risk to reward would have been there. Yeah. I knew it's cool, right? Like, that little lag was definitely suspicious, right? That little delay was suspect while everything else was already reacting. All right, so I wouldn't be surprised this thing just continues to go to the upside. All right, again, now I'm not in it. It is what it is. Maybe, just maybe, if we see this thing come back down, maybe to these lows down here, we can look for that reaction as well. That could possibly give us a play here on a smaller time frame. All right, but yeah, you know, we'll see what happens. But overall, guys, for the most part, I mean, markets are already just going, which is expected. All right, let's see what else we got here. When you and Skies come to Chicago, I got you on Fogo de Chao. I love me some Fogo de Chao, right? It's definitely one of my favorite restaurants to go to. That's Yeah, like Fogo de Chao is pretty lit, right? When I went to Puerto Rico, that's where I took my wife out to eat. We went to Fogo de Chao in Puerto Rico, and it was an absolute banger, right? You know, eating some Fogo de Chao, overlooking the waters. Yeah, baby, you can't go wrong with that. Let's see. Are you going to FX Summit 2023? Bring Skags if you are. We'd love to meet you and have dinner. All right. So yeah, we definitely are planning to be there, for sure. Right. In fact, you know, shout out to my guy. Matter of fact, I gotta go ahead and show some love as well. Right. You know, to my guy Roy and the Chart Addicts team. You know, because yeah, they're the ones that are actually putting the summit together. Right. So family, again, this is a selfish, unselfish plug. Right. You know, we really don't promote too many other channels on this stream, on this stream specifically, but I love to show love to people that also show love to us, right? So family, if you guys are not following the Chart Addicts, I highly recommend you guys to go ahead and give them a sub. You know, shout out to my boy Roy. You know, I've known Roy now for the past 3-4 years now, and yeah, it's been a good time, right? So yeah, definitely go ahead and give them a shout out, give them a sub. You know, extremely knowledgeable as well, guys, from a fundamental perspective, right? Like, if there's anybody that I think is, and it's not really a competition thing, right? But somebody else that I also respect, guys, in the space from a fundamental perspective is definitely Roy, right? So go ahead and give them a follow. They are the ones that are going to be putting the FX Summit together this next year in 2023. I believe it's going to happen in June. And yeah, you know, we're going to be there. And not only are we going to be there, but we're also going to be there. We're going to be presenting. We're going to be teaching, right? We're actually going to be on stage, you know, providing you guys with some gems, some value, some nuggets for sure, right? So that's going to be an absolutely good time, right? So we definitely want all you guys there, guys, right? So I think it's in June, though, right? I believe it's in June. I don't know if he made it public yet, but FX Summit is going to be absolutely crazy. All right, and we'll be able to be there, and we're going to be talking our stuff in person, in real time. So that's going to be a vibe. Let's see. Thanks, Abel. I'm still in EU. Let's go, Jude. I love it. I love it. Look at this. Look at this thing now. It's not even going to come back for us, right? See, we should have just took this little jab down here at these lows. All right, we should have took that jab, but it's cool. That little delay was definitely very obvious. All right, EU is just still tanking. Gold is still tanking. NAS looks like it might want to continue. US 30, SPX, look, these indices look like they want to continue as well. Interesting. All right, how's crypto's looking like, right? Crypto itself, I think these are probably going to end up continuing as well. Man, it's been a very interesting morning for sure, guys. All right, interesting morning for sure. It's just now we can't really do much without no pullbacks, right? Now this is the time that it sucks, right? Because now there's literally nothing that we can do until we see some type of a, you know, a period of time where we pull back up, which I don't think is gonna happen. All right, I don't think it's gonna happen. Look at this thing. Gold is just melting, right? Somebody said EU is melting. EU is just melting, right? So for those of you guys that caught the entry up here with me, you guys are doing way better than I am because I'm not even in the trade no more. But if you guys caught this trade up here, wow. That's literally all I could say is wow, because look at the risk to reward now, right? This thing ended up turning from a 3-to-1 risk to reward. All right, it was around a 3-to-1 risk to reward to now it's a 7.5 risk to reward. All right, so we were originally risking, again, 1%, right? Targeting 3% our risk. This initial setup that was targeting 3% our risk is now up 7 times our risk. That's a banger, right? Big shout out to y'all, man. Big shout out to y'all. That was a banger. Absolute phenomenal trade. You know, just again, don't get too greedy. I know some of you guys are holding, you know, but make sure you are starting to collect some profits. You know, it looks good right now on these smaller time frames, but these smaller time frames, guys, especially coming down into this level right here, you know, we could see, you know, a little bit of a reaction back to the upside, right? So make sure you guys are paying yourself, right? Don't try to ride the home run. Pay yourself every so often, right? Like every time we break a new low, pay yourself. Pay yourself, right? Roll your stop losses into profit some more, right? Like your stop loss technically should not be all the way back up at these highs no more, right? Your stop loss should be probably now above one of these newer swing highs that we just created. Right, roll your stops, trail your stops, just in case the market did want to go ahead and shoot up. All right, let's see. Maybe the yen intervention happening soon. I was looking at you. It's pretty concerning. I mean, it could, right? It could have been that, but this thing is flying now, right? I think it just had a little bit of a delay. I think what it really was doing is telling us, like, yo, Abel, bro, I'm giving you guys a chance to get in, bro. And I hesitated, right? We hesitated because of the delay, right? We hesitated, but it's cool. You know, think about the markets, guys. There's always going to be another opportunity. But that's one thing that you guys can keep your eyes on, right? I hope you guys caught that, though, right? That little lag. Like, there was like a lag from when UJ started to move from when everything else was moving, right? We should have just took it. We would at least could have been able to ride it back up to these initial highs up here where we're at now, right? And we should have took it just because we had confirmation of dollar strength already based off how the other pairs were moving, based on how everything else was moving. All right, so we definitely should have took that. But again, you know, it's one of those things, guys, that you just gain experience from. All right, so now next time you guys see something like that where you guys see one pair is lagging behind, hint, hint, that could be a clue. That's the market giving y'all the chance. All right, that's the market giving y'all the chance. So, yeah, it was an interesting play, though. All right, but yeah, I gotta wait for something now, guys. I gotta wait for some type of a pullback now, right? So I'm gonna be patient. I'm probably not gonna be taking no more trades until after the 10 o'clock candle. The only trade that I took with you guys was that EU, which again I called a 3% banger on, which was absolutely amazing. All right, so now we just gotta be patient, let the market do what they do. And for any of you guys that end up buying the bootcamp as well, family, please reach out to me. All right, if you do purchase the bootcamp, because I already see some of you guys already purchasing it, reach out to me so I can get you added into the chat. We do have a private bootcamp community. All right, so please, 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 if you guys do purchase the bootcamp, make sure to reach out to me, right? So the ones that just purchased it right now, make sure to reach out so that I can get you added into the chat, all right? So that you are aware, because we will have our study hall session tomorrow, right? We do a study hall session, guys, every Saturday for the bootcamp community, just overlooking the week, overlooking some trades that we took, and yeah, things like that. All right. All right, let's see what we got here. Thoughts on existing home sales? I mean, it's not nothing that I'm gonna be focused on too much. Yes, the real estate market, in my opinion, is going to continue to decline over time, but I don't think this is something that's gonna really influence the markets too much, right? For us to be worried about, right? So I'm really not gonna be worried too much about these home sales for me personally. The only thing I will be looking forward to is, let me see actually, see if there's anything else for the week. Let me see. I mean, yeah, there's really nothing else. That's like the last thing that we have for the week, right? And again, there's nothing that I'm interested in it at all. Right, so yeah, you know, I'm just gonna chill out. I'm gonna see what the market does end up giving us after the 10 o'clock candle, and we'll see what happens. Let's see. Just bought it. Yeah, Marcus, definitely send me a message for sure, brother, and I'll add you into the chat. Let's get it. Still buying houses in these conditions? Yeah, they're brave, right? Anybody that's buying real estate in these market conditions are extremely, extremely brave. In fact, you know, I gotta call my father out, right? Because my father he's a very intelligent man, right? But he actually just bought a house. So congratulations on the house, my father. But yeah, I don't. Again, like, my dad is my superhero, right? But there's certain times where you just gotta be like, yo, that just don't logically, just doesn't make sense, all right? Because now, and again, I'm using my father because I could talk shit about my dad. It's my father, right? But he went from his last house where his mortgage rate was around 1 to 2%, right? He ended up selling that for a big profit, by the way, all right? He had a lot of equity in that house, but then he just bought another house where the mortgage rate is around 6%. Like, so now his mortgage payment is like triple of what he was just paying for a house of the same size. Like, you guys see where I'm getting at? It wasn't logically, it didn't, like, I get it. You wanted to make, you know, a bag because he made a lot of money off the sale because he has so much equity in the house, right? And just the value of his house went crazy over the past 4 or 5 years. But selling your house for a profit, at that much of a profit, is cool. But then rebuying another house where your mortgage rate is now triple of what it was, now you're paying 3 times what you were initially paying for your mortgage. I just don't see the benefits of it right now. Obviously, he's gonna try to refinance in a year or two, but what's to say the market is gonna change, right? Market conditions are probably gonna stay this high for the next year, right? So I don't know, right? I don't know. Again, listen, man. He bought more houses than I did, right? So he has more experience, but it just because of market conditions, because of mortgage rates being around 5-6%, it just doesn't make sense, right? What he could have done, what he should have did, all right? And again, who am I to say he bought way more houses than I did, but he doesn't buy it as an investor. He buys houses just because he likes living in them. He's not like an investor, right? But what he should have did, if he wanted to capitalize on this hot market and capitalize on all the equity that he had, right? Because he netted multiple six figures, right? So if he wanted, he should have just rented for the next year or two, right? Sold the house, collect all that money, just put it in the bank, reinvest it into different other plays if you wanted to, but rent for the next year. And I know it's hard going from owning a house for years and years and years to trying to rent, but I'm just thinking from like an investor standpoint, right? I think that's me, right? I'm looking at it from an investor standpoint and seeing what will make the most sense to keep as much money as possible, right? But again, his plan is to refinance in a year. But if inflation is still the way it is by next year, he's not going to be able to refinance nothing, right? So, but again, it is what it is. He's not looking at things from an investor standpoint. He just says, he just want to buy a house, all right? So, all right, it is what it is. All right, not everybody is thinking like an investor like we are. All right, like all of us on this call, like we think about things like that. Like I think about how much of a difference the mortgage rate is compared to what we're actually going to be getting. Like I see it. All right, I get it. All right, so. But again, not everybody thinks like that. Let's see. 1750. Gold is still tanking. These sell-offs make me overthink. Even if we see 50 basis points, we could be selling off for December's funds rate. It's very possible for sure. Hey, Abel, thank you for sharing which broker you use. Are there any U.S. brokers that are a good option? I mean, the U.S. regulated brokers, Owanda, right? Owanda.com is a popular one. Right, Forex.com is even a popular one. And these are all, again, regulated brokers in the U.S. All right, so you do have to follow the regulations of the U.S. Right, but Owanda, Forex.com. In fact, TradingView guys also has, right, where is it? TradingView actually shows you guys the brokers that they offer, right? And some of these brokers guys are the ones that are regulated. Right, so like Owanda's regulated, which you can also connect to TradingView. Like that's like the coolest thing about the regulated brokers, that you can connect it directly to TradingView and literally trade right off of TradingView, which is like that's fire. That is dope, right? I wish other brokers allowed us to do that, right? But yeah, this one works. Owanda, Forex.com. A few of these guys again you're not going to be able to take because these are going to be brokers that are overseas that do not allow U.S. residents. But yeah, take a look at a few of these, see if they allow U.S. residents. But usually these are the ones that are going to be, have some type of regulation to them. Let's see. Agree. That's one of the points in life I have to accept. Not everybody cares. Yeah, it is what it is, right? Not everybody thinks like us, like an investor at least, right? Because trust me, I've had conversations with my dad all the time. But they're gonna do what they want to do, right? It is what it is. Majority of people that are financially free are renting a place where they live because of the market conditions. It just makes sense, right? If you wanted to capitalize off your home sale, right, the most logical play from an investor would have been just to rent for the next year or two, right? Allow this inflation to get under control, allow the markets to rebound. And then, because again, real estate is going to continue to drop, right? Housing prices, guys, is going to drop probably another 20%. Right, it's probably going to do it, right? So after the next year or so, when you see the market finally bottom out, maybe because the Federal Reserve becomes dovish, the Fed starts lowering rates again. The moment the Fed starts lowering rates again, the housing market is gonna rebound immediately, right? We're gonna start to see the housing market absolutely start to fly again. But a lot of people don't even understand, the power of the Fed has, right? Like a lot of people, and it's just the majority of people in the world, they don't understand how interest rates going up and down is going to influence, what they do in the real estate market as well. And you can't be mad at it. It is what it is. What are the similarities, differences between NAS market FXWay? Honestly, they're pretty similar, right? Like a lot of these offshore brokers, guys, that we use, whether it's NAS markets, FXWay, Hugo's Way, KOT, Prosperity, right? There's a million different offshore brokers. They're all pretty much copycats of each other. The thing that I like between NAS markets is because NAS markets actually allows me to trade on MT5, right? They actually allow and give the option to do MT5, which is why I have them. FXWay I like because I actually know the owner of FXWay, right? So I have a lot more confidence in a broker that I actually know the owner of, right? That if something happens, I could hit him up like, yo, what's the deal? You know what I'm saying? But there's really no difference for the most part, right? But family, besides that, again, there's really not much we can do. The 10 o'clock candle did actually open, but even then, like I would need to see, some type of a pullback here for us to be able to get involved. I mean, for the euro, seeing how the market reacts off of here down at these lows, it could potentially trigger that move higher, back up into these levels up here. So that's something that you could potentially play off of. But either way, even if that does happen, I'll still be targeting lower in my opinion, right? But I'm gonna go ahead and jump off. I'm gonna go ahead and just eat this food that my wifey got me, spend some time with my kids, and I'm just gonna see what the market does give us overall. All right, overall, just see what happens. Right, but family, I do appreciate you guys. Again, I apologize for not being on live with you guys yesterday, but hopefully today's session made up for me missing out on the Asian stream last night. Right, so I will be back on here Sunday. Right, Sunday we will be back live with the team, Profit Society, for our weekly overview. So please make sure to be a part of the Profit Society YouTube channel, so you guys are on that call with all of us. I promise you, when you guys ever get on a call with all of us, it's really gonna change the game for y'all for sure. All right, but I do appreciate y'all. I love you guys. Thank you guys for rocking with us, and I'll see you guys all a little bit later. Let's get it. Have a good one, y'all.